2 weeks ago. Oh, okay, recording. We met a couple of weeks ago at Melrose Library. We got a chance for all of us to kind of touch base. Then we went into the Thanksgiving break, and then 2 weeks ago we got together. Some people got together at my studio, and we talked about more particularly what each artist is doing in their neighborhoods. Um, Teaching artists are also coming up with different ideas. So I see Mike is here. Mike made a little video of his hand puppet that I'd like to be able to feature. Um, Molly just sent me. I just opened an hour or two ago. Molly, do you have your image to share of your I Heart Southeast
I could work on
activation?
that. Let me see.
That was fun to open. I just got in
Okay.
the door and I saw, okay, where is the link? And I saw your thing. Hmm.
I cannot figure it out right this second, Brian, but
Okay, no rush.
okay.
If, at some point today, if we could show that.
Okay.
And Katie has got our communications going here, so I probably should be um, having Katie do this smoothly, but I don't want to dump everything on their lap at the moment. So what the basic idea is, we're talking about what Daisy art activations are. That's was still a little unclear. So I'm just going to do it in a few words just to show kind of what it is that we're doing. Um, did I lose you? I just got cut off, did I?
We hear and see you, Brian.
Okay, I just see Zoom. Okay, but what what um, what the Daisy Art activations are doing is we have an artist in residence in each neighborhood. That artist in residence is a little bit of a different job than last year's artist in residence. They're in that neighborhood, meeting people, making the connections with the intention of helping people make something together so they can be in the parade to take that, bring in the parade. So we're trying to make sure that that mission, that goal is really clear. I know a lot of artists are going to be asked to do different things, and we like to do as much as we can to really be part of that neighborhood. But what we're being measured by, the outcomes that I want to be able to show at the end of the parade is that the activation teams in the neighborhoods were able to um, get people together to make art together and then participate in the parade together. So you could almost quite um, you could literally count heads to see how effective it was. Uh, this is because we're accountable to the Arts Commission. Doug is assisting me in making sure the money is set aside that have come from the city, that have come from the NEA, that all of that money and spending that we're overseeing is being spent appropriately for the right tasks. And if there's anything that's not being spent in the right ways, then I'm supposed to be able to catch it with Doug's assistance. And if not, sort of it's my responsibility to make sure that it is spent correctly. And what we're trying to do is um, that we want to have the neighborhood come together, make art together. And if there is a need to supply some materials, we'll try to do that. But mostly what the money is for is to be able to do things like posters, the expenses that the if we need to do whatever it's needed to make that project happen. So in some cases, we might need to buy a lot of fabric to be able to make the banners, and then the banners are carried in the Daisy Art Parade. Or maybe paper mache needs some armatures. We'll go off and buy the materials for the armatures and do that. my main goal and the purpose of the parade is that we want it to be a grassroots-driven activity. We want it to be um, coming from each neighborhood and having those neighborhoods have a say in what they create, have ownership of what they create, and then our artists in residence and our teaching artists will assist them to make what they want, what the neighborhood wants to come to life. And we hope that will bring people together and create an atmosphere and a culture where people will help each other on a lot more things. So I'm looking at just the Zoom sign here. So I'm kind of confused of what's going on. It's throwing me off a bit. What I'd like to be able to do is if anyone else is here, I know Molly, you're here. You don't have to show the image right now, but you want to talk a little bit about what's going on in Southeast generally, and then we can get to particulars later on when we know more. I know we don't have everything worked out completely yet.
Yeah, so in Southeast, I have had some interest from the elementary schools. So that's been pretty exciting. We've been chatting on what they might want to do, and I've been getting some good questions from them. So that's pretty exciting. I think we're gonna try it and tie it into like a space theme, but we're gonna see if that, if they want to change it along the way, that's fine too. But and I think I can do a low tech version of showing you guys this. Let me try to flip this around. Okay. There we go. Can we see that okay? Is that showing up for everybody?
No, I can see it now.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So that's kind of my Southeast version there. Oh, what did I do? All right, I'm back. I don't know. What else should I mention, Brian?
What do you plan on using that flyer for? I'm going to get them printed up.
So I would love to take that to the library art meetups we're gonna do. That's a separate project, but I really think I can tie it into Daisy Art Parade since it's gonna be the same idea of just meeting up and doing some art stuff. So I'd love to have this with me. And then when people ask me questions, I can say all of the answers to this are on the website. Here it is. And we could put that up in the library as well. I'm thinking on maybe doing some other design for the school because they said they might be able to get something approved to go up.
Wow.
I'll let you guys know how that works out.
Fingers crossed on that. That would be a big achievement.
We'll see. We'll see.
Do you think you want a brochure with a lot of frequently asked questions?
Yeah,
on the back?
that'd be great. I mean, it seems like the answer usually tends to be just go to the website because it is on there, but we could, let me think on how we could word those. I think I posted in Zulip like what I was asked over and over again, which was pretty basic stuff like, how do we sign up? And that's on the website. So, but yeah, that's a good idea to have like just the points really quick on there.
Thanks, Molly. That'd be a good segue to Katie. Maybe we could talk about what the state of the website is right now and other communications issues.
Yep. Hi, everyone. My name is Katie Stickle. I've been doing some of the communications for the Daisy Parade, and we'll be doing more and more the closer we get to Parade Day on May 10th. I'm going to do this so I can pop a bunch of things in the chat as we go, so don't mind me pausing. The Daisy Art Parade website has been updated with the date for the 2025 parade. And the registration form is closed currently, and it does have the detail about when that will open, probably late January 2025. It directs folks to sign up for our newsletter for answers to various questions. If you are not signed up for the newsletter, I do highly recommend. It is going out currently every other week. And as we get closer to the parade and have more to say, it might bump up to every week. So I've put the sign up link for that newsletter in the chat as well. If you're on the Daisy Parade website, you'll see that it has on the homepage the date for the 2025 parade, details about when registration will open, and a section right beneath that that says, what can I do to start getting ready? And mostly that says, start thinking about your people, finding a crew who's interested in making art with you, and getting involved with the neighborhood activations. So we're really trying to direct everything towards what art is happening now, so people can get connected and learn more as they're getting ready to start doing their art builds and parade work. So the website, once we hit January, we'll receive a more in-depth update with the artwork for 2025, hopefully a t-shirt design reveal, more updated social media. We're going to be featuring photos, quotes, experiences from past parades on our social media to start building that hype for 2025 parade. Artists, neighborhood artists, anyone on this activation team, teaching artists, you can expect at some point you and your work and your neighborhood will be featured on our Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. But right now, for December, the focus is going to be getting people signed up for the newsletter and making sure the basic information is all there on the website. So that's what is going on right now. And I see we've got other artists here who have work that's probably going on.
Great. I see Hannah's here. Mike's here. Hannah, do you want to talk about your thing, or is it a surprise?
It is not a surprise. Yeah, I can show you the deer head. A friend of mine had like a taxidermy deer bust in their yard and allowed me to use it to store at Brian's studio, so it's there now. And so this is the first iteration, which Brian helped me so much on. And we got antlers on this one, but if you were doing like a doe, you wouldn't have to bother with the antlers. But anyone can use the bust to make replicas of a deer head. I would like to use this one for like lots of purposes. I can imagine so many purposes. There's, you know, Christmas coming up, and so it could be a reindeer for some of these Christmas events. But then for the parade later on, I'd like to integrate these with the neighborhood 11th Street with the Garden Variety Harvest Farm, and then hopefully the Hope Center, and do like a collaboration with the farm and the vegetables that grow on a farm and all of the different things that try to eat the vegetables. So deer are just one element of that, but like I'm hoping to, you know, maybe have like a praying mantis and some other fun puppets. And one thing I really like about the deer head is you can potentially down the line maybe have deer legs that would like attach to a person's feet. And maybe Mike Moran, maybe you have some thoughts on this, like a way to make it look really cool, and the way that you move could be cool. So that's what I've been working on. And if anybody else has an inspiration for a way that a deer could be useful for their project, there's now a deer bust at the studio at Brian's, and you can go down and use it any studio open hours that are convenient for you.
Thanks, Hannah. That didn't take us too long to do, did it?
No, oh my God, it's amazing. I had no idea how quick we'd be, but I think we got the deer bust covered in a day in almost like just under 2 hours, with 3 layers, and then it dried, and then you did the hard part of extricating it and um cutting it in half, and that was the next day, right? And so it
Yeah, it's
got
just
pretty
about an
much
hour
done.
to do that.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
almost done in a weekend, almost done in 2 days, just a few other tidbits
So
to
we
do.
could, how many reindeer are there? 10?
Oh, right, I know, right? I don't even know.
And
Somebody.
you could make hats out of those. So there's a lot of possibilities that we could do. The great thing about having that mold is that we just cover it in plastic, cover that in paper mache, and then a couple of tweaks to be able to make it something you can wear or carry. But we can get it, and it's a really great example. So thanks, Hannah, for bringing it. I guess next time we might show the actual mold too.
Did
But
you guys use a real deer? Was that like a real deer and then you covered that and took it? Is that how you made
it was
it?
it sounds like it, but it's a
I didn't
metal
just.
form.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
My friend, you might know her. It's Alexis Meyer
I
from
do.
Savage Acres. So she has this amazing story of following a rainbow to an old abandoned shack on like out in Catawba, and there was somewhere on the property there was this old taxidermy styrofoam deer,
Oh,
like was an old taxidermist, like they used
yeah.
this to form around. So it's not an actual deer head, although I did a terrible job of describing that. It's just the styrofoam that a taxidermist
I
would.
just was like picturing the actual taxidermy head and you guys were
Yeah,
covering it. I was like,
my
that's
bad.
intense,
No.
guys.
Nope, not that.
Thanks for pointing. Like, please don't drop off your roadkill at my studio for me to paper mache. Um, let's see who else we got there. Mike, you have your mouth full. Do you want to talk about what you're doing?
What am I doing?
Uh, you you showed me the little puppet thing, but you're like,
Oh, right. In terms of, yeah. Well, you and I had talked before about using the goat puppet as kind of a newsletter point. And I was like, going, all right. So I figured I might as well at least throw down something. So
yeah.
that was the video. But
And
you
I
had,
sent that to Katie, and yeah, we can tweak exactly what the message is. Hannah, um, or well, with Molly, with that little flyer too. I guess what we have to do is decide collectively, based on what we have on Zulip, what the message needs to be that that would that would make sure we're communicating clearly to people who want to know more about Daisy Arkwright.
but
Um,
yeah, the puppet's primed and ready. So
And I showed you, I haven't got that video with me, but I showed I'm making the large bodies for the large puppets now. And so I've taken one large head from last year on a test run with a wicker basket body and arms that can move. You should be able to put legs on it. And Mike has offered to be able to help us when we get to that stage on how to
yeah, I
actually.
want to be there when you start looking at attaching legs. I want to be there for that
Okay.
thing. That's
Hopefully in the next week or so, when I get out of school, I plan to
keep
try
me
to get one
posted on that because
prototype
I'd like
going.
to be involved in that one.
Very good. All right. Jefferson, are you there?
Mute.
I know Babe is here too, but
Hey, yeah, I'm right here.
do you want to talk about where you are with the Street Performers Expo
Uh,
and the
yeah,
bus Corona?
yeah. Right now, still in the middle of the permitting process for Street Performer Expo to return in May of 2025. But you and I have talked about I've got the talent lined up for it. I just need to get more vendors and things online and confirmed with the street closures. Once I can get some phone calls returned from the city, I'll be making more progress with that. Um, but I wanted to know for the parade portion, is there a way that in the same way that my circus arts club that comes together and juggles in the park on Thursdays was involved in the parade last year, is there a way to get Busk Roanoke contributing to the parade in some way? If there was any way that I could come to the next meeting and contribute that way. That was more my question in the chat.
Yeah, we'd love you to come. I think that you might have ideas of, you saw the parade last year. You might see how you'd like to participate in it. Did you like being stationed at different crossroads and participating then? Or do you think something could move along with the parade?
Sure.
Oh, yeah. We had there's a various different ways I could see it working in. I love the idea of jugglers just walking down the street and doing performing stuff. What do you all, I know, Mike, you might have some ideas on that, or other people. What do you all think about how the buskers and street performers would fit well in the parade?
Well, I think it depends on last year I didn't, because I was down with the stage. Were the jugglers walking with, or were they weaving in and out of the crowd?
So we had a group of the jugglers just walking with the parade as a separate uh obviously float's the wrong word, but
Yeah,
that
no, I
group
got you. Right,
that
right,
group
right.
in the parade. And with the busking, it works on a variety of disciplines because anyone with saxophone or any kind of music that's self-contained, obviously probably a piano's out of the works, but there's music involved. There's potentially any kind of discipline there in a big smattering of variety. So I can put it out in the I can put it out in the Busk Roanoke group and see who can book it off to be there, and I can get a better list of what you'd have in the Busk Roanoke segment of the parade next year or in May. And I'll report back to you with a better understanding of who's available for that.
Okay.
Right, a series of unicyclists would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Right.
And Jefferson, I don't know. Do you feel comfortable talking about the length of the Street Performers Expo event that Daisy Art Parade is going to be in the middle of? Are you ready to launch that, or we want to wait for a
Yeah.
bit?
Yeah, no. I can talk. I don't want to take too much of this is slated for you, but I can talk a little bit on that. So a couple of years ago, in Elmwood Park, we had the first Street Performer Expo. I'm scaling that back a little bit with a more modest footprint and a more modest talent booking to focus more on local artists than I had the first year. Um, and but I do have um, a trio from New Orleans and a magician buddy of mine who's proved popular in Roanoke at Go Fest the last 3 years. And I should have Snap Boogie did confirm. Yeah, Snap Boogie is an America's Got Talent top 10 finalist, a break dancer friend of mine, um, who was in town recently doing some work with some elementary schools and after school programs, inspirational dance teaching and motivational speaking that I had set up, and he's coming back for that as well. And so it's going to be an open, no gate, no ticket fee event, just like the previous Street Performer Expo, with two distinct pitches. And again, pitches are the location where someone gathers a crowd for a circle show, um, for jugglers and breakdancers and magicians coming from out of town to work in, but then also places for local smaller busking acts. So the idea is bringing in the big names from out of town to draw a crowd and then to highlight the local artists with the attention that's gathered. So I am in the process of gathering volunteers and staff to help with vendors and sponsors and some of the administrative side of permits and fire marshal assembly, yada, yada, yada. But the talent's booked and the dates are set and the footprints decided on. And so progress is being made. It's been good.
Thank you, Jefferson. And so one of the reasons why I think this would work pretty well is um, Daisy Art Parade was the first one was scheduled to go on World Art Day, and I went to see if I could book the Elmwood Park for that very first year, and I saw that Jefferson had Elmwood Park the year before, and so we've been trying to find ways that we could collaborate since then. It seemed like a very good collaboration. Ideally, I think the parade would be about noon, and then by the time the parade's over, we'd have a small gathering, and then parade would basically be a block or two away from the Street Performers Expo, and the expo would continue the evening, so we could have a chance to stay together and celebrate for longer. Does that sound fair, Jefferson?
Yeah, I think getting the show started immediately after the parade goes through the Kirk Avenue footprint we're talking about. I think it's going to work together well.
Great, thank you. So with that, we've got the five neighborhoods. The artists working there are working to activate those neighborhoods to be able to have maybe even more than one group participate from those groups. My hope is that last year's parade was it's about almost 400. I think that's right, Katie. Um, we'd like it to be double that again, maybe even as many as 900 or so. So there's gonna be a lot of people, lots of puppets and large pieces of art moving around. And so it would be great to have musicians, bringing in someone. If we had the New Orleans musicians, that'd be great. I'd like amateur musicians, high school musicians, just activate the ambulatory aspect of it, more dancing, more choreographed movement, and more live music being marched down the street would be super exciting. And the more arts that we represent, the I think the more complete this would be as a representing a true art parade. Do we have anyone else there? I can't really see the whole screen. Let me see if I can do that. Jane is here. Jane, do you want to talk about what you're doing on Thursday night?
Hey, everybody. So Thursday night, we are having the second annual Christmas tree lighting at the Gainsborough Library. Santa Claus is coming at 6. We'll turn the lights on when it gets dark out, about sunset. I'm inviting anybody that wants to come and do some parade-like stuff, or Jefferson, if you want to come do some street performing, we would love to have you as part of the event. We're hoping that this will be a little bit of a taste of the mystery of the Daisy Art Parade and get people more excited and interested in it. I'm starting every Tuesday drop-in art classes at Gainsborough Library starting January 7th, running through April, from 4 to 6 p.m. on Tuesdays. And so we'll be working on various manner of puppetry for the event. What else should I go into, Brian? Is that good or?
No, that's good. I plan on bringing the giant chicken on Thursday. So if anyone wants to just come and just join the festivities, I think it's not organized in any way like a parade or anything like that. Just show up. We can walk around in a costume, and then right. That's the idea is just create sort of festivity by dressing up and having fun. So fantastic event on the weekend. It was good to see you. And Joy, you can really sing. That was beautiful, that event too. Okay, I'll see if there's anyone else here. Jasmine is do you want to talk about what Jasmine's doing for Gainsborough, Jane?
Yes, I've been working with one of the teaching artists, Jasmine. Is she not here?
I think Jasmine's there. Yeah, I don't.
I'd let
Let
perhaps
Jasmine
Jasmine.
talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Jasmine, you feel like that? If not, just tag it back to me, girl.
Can you hear me? Right now I'm working on some banners for Kwanzaa for Jane. So basically, that design's already done. Right now, I'm just putting the fabric together to it's basically just sewing them together.
She's brought some beautiful material to the task, really expressing in material, fabric, and art form the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. So we're quite excited about that as part of the Gainsborough art activation.
And Jasmine, I ordered that fabric for you, but I haven't seen it come in yet. So it just reminded me I need to go find out what's going on with that. You have other fabrics
Yeah.
that Doug was able to get you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to chase that one down. I hope to see you Thursday up there in Gainsborough. And is there anyone else? Corey, Mike, Anna. I think we checked everyone. I'd like to maybe just open it up and see if there's any questions from anyone else that has just looking in and would like to know more about what's going on with Daisy Art Parade. That would help me to know what we need to tell you. Okay, well, I have one note here from Carrie Martinez asking about if you want to get involved in helping organize the parade. We'd love people to be involved in the actual parade planning thing. The best person to contact would be Katie right now. Katie's got the sheet of the different the jobs that are needed to be done. And the sooner we get into a discussion about how we want to even approach things, then you have more of a say rather than just being a pair of helping hands. The closer we get to the parade day, that's when we just need more helping hands than anything else. That'll be great. Thank you. We love your help in it. Also, if you're just good at the planning part, if you wanted to do some making too, you have your own skills. You probably don't need help from us on that one. But we'd love to get as many groups to be seen maybe on social media as possible, to see what different groups are doing, to know people are already making stuff, and to get little glimpses of people making things might be really cool. I'd love your insight on how we might go about that. So let's see. Katie, anything else you can think of that we should be covering?
I had a question about
Yeah.
who's managing the social media? Is it one person or multiple people have access to it?
Currently, yes, I have access to the Facebook, the Instagram, the YouTube, the website.
So is it all you
newsletter.
doing it, Katie?
So currently, yes.
Okay.
Once we hit 2025, I have a social media calendar. And it is going to become a lot more work. And the plan is Jennifer Hayward is going to be stepping in and doing more. So it'll be me and Jennifer rather than just me doing a lot of it, especially in the revamping of the website and creating video content for our social media. After the new year, you'll also see a call for photos from past parades. that anyone wants to share, or quotes from parade participants. If anyone is feeling really called to the social media and wants to do that with me, you are welcome to.
I have my friend just moved here and she's living with me. So she's like getting pulled into Daisy Art Parade no matter what. She already has a big head in her space right now. But I'm just thinking like she could help you with that, but I don't know if that's okay since she's not like hired technically under you guys. But yeah, I feel like she would be great at that. She did it for university social media. So if you get to that point that you're feeling like you need more people, I'm not that great at that, but she is. And she's gonna be stuck watching us making art anyway, everywhere she is. So
yeah, I'd love to get information, have a chance to sit down and meet and see how we can work with her.
okay, yeah.
Especially if she has the head in her room already.
Yeah. She said
now,
it's her protector right now.
The main thing is I'd like for social media, I want Katie to be the person in charge communications so that there's one person really calling the shots, yay or nay on things. And then Jennifer has a vision for how the different social media will all speak together. Because of course, the big goal is to increase the amount of people who know about the Daisy Art Parade and will sign up for the newsletter and participate in the newsletter. So what our actual needs are to get those numbers up, and then where any resources that we have can be used to make that happen. That's where I'm trying to prioritize where the funding goes, if that makes sense. So I can see that there's a reason why we're doing this. And so there'll be a conversation that we do with it. Katie, it does make it what Molly just mentioned just sounds like a really good thing to discuss, though. Can anyone get on Zulip and leave recommendations or suggestions for how our social media might get input from people? Or how would you like people to contact you on that?
So this Zulip that we've been talking about, if anyone is like, what the heck are you guys saying? It is a Slack-esque communications platform that this Daisy activation team is using to communicate. Right now, we are keeping that to the Daisy activation team. If you have feedback, interest, just want to say hi, but any kind of feedback or have something you want to say or someone you want to connect, please direct folks to the blooms4you@daisyartparade.com email. I have put that in the chat. It's on the website. That is the go-to place. If it's something on Facebook or Instagram, that you feel free to DM those accounts, especially if you see something small on that specific platform. But I want to keep things central in the blooms4you@daisyartparade.com for communications and social media concerns, or any questions about the website or getting involved. That's our central location.
Would it be helpful if people take pictures of stuff they're working on right now? Would that be something that would show up in social media? Would that help as a little teaser?
Yeah, Hannah, if you want that deer head and any of its friends that get created, if you want those posted, we will share those. Mike, thank you so much for the video. Mike and your friend. That'll go up soon. That'll be our first reel of the season, directing people to get signed up for the newsletter. So we've already got a start on that, but we'll take more and more and more.
Thank you. So the main thing is all of you that are here listening in, all of you had looks like almost everyone has participated in being RSM residents before or being very active in different ways. A way that would really help is just let people know about the parade. I see Catherine Devines here, who's always been a great advocate and a great spokesman for the arts. Every person you tell about the Daisy Art Parade, Catherine, I know signs up to sign up for the newsletter, to find out more about what's going on. We'd like to have as many people as possible know about it this year. I'm so used to people telling me they've never heard anything about it, but they think it'd be really kind of cool. So that's our drive this year, is to let as many people as we can know about it, and answer questions that they have. Send them towards our email, and then we can answer it then through the social media. Let's see. Joy, I was at your event the other night with the well, it wasn't your event, but you were fantastic in that nativity thing, and that the whole event was wonderful. The community arts reach was fantastic. I loved hearing your voice there, and maybe you could help us get some circle singers in the parade this year. We're not just looking at giant puppets. That's just a visual thing that I'm kind of stuck on. But the more musicians that we have participating, poets, and stilt walkers, all of that stuff would be really great. So,
Well, thank you.
oops.
And I will reach out to my fellow singers and brainstorm that, see who's available, and yeah, I'd love to do something.
That would be wonderful. Yeah. It was just great to see like a big group of people all coming with voice, and the power of all those choirs singing together. So to have that represented in the parade is kind of like an amazing float to march along, and to see that represented. So,
yeah. To be continued.
Let's see, anyone else? Lauren, just want to say hi. Lauren's stopped by the studio a little bit. Do you have any progress on little things you're talking to me about? Or
So I'm a little chaotic right now. This is actually my new house that I moved into yesterday. So I'm working on getting stuff started. I think I'm going to work on Hannah's deer head, help paint it tomorrow. Brian, you gave me some little lino cut guys that I'm gonna work on, like Daisy Art Parade designs for maybe some postcards, so I need to get started on that. And then Jane and I are meeting tomorrow morning to talk about one of her ideas. So I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna discuss that tomorrow. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, feels good to be busy. Lots of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the house is going to be work too.
Yeah, this is the first time I have my own studio, so it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to getting this stuff started.
It's good to see you moved in. Got canvas on the background there, and you're back painting, so that's wonderful.
Yeah, for sure.
So any other anyone who has any questions? I'm going to try reading through the comments here. I would like to tell everyone that basically my schedule is I'm at my studio, Art Rat Studio, on Saturdays from 8 o'clock till 2 in theory. Sometimes I get there maybe like 8:30, depending on traffic or how slow my coffee was that morning. But stop by, say hi. I'd like to have it set up going on forward that I'll have a project going on. So if you just want to come by and say, give me something to do, then there'll be something you can work on, and we can problem solve it. We can talk about your project that you're working on, or I'll just give you stuff to work on that we're making communally. I'm making things just to give out to other groups when they want them. We have hobby horse heads. We're gonna try to have about 4 large horse puppets that you can wear as backpacks. Try to have another 4 dancing giant puppet people that we can have walking down the street with Mike's tutoring. Will make them actually look like giants. And there's other possibilities. There's always something comes up. I know that Robin mentioned that maybe a giant bulldog might be something that her community would like us to do. So, you know, draw it up on a napkin, bring it in, and let's know how we can start making that happen with you. The parade is May 10th, so that's really just about 5 months away, 4.5 if you don't count the holidays. And those of us that have worked in the last couple of years will tell you how fast that goes by. And once you've got your first part of your parade object made, then your juices start flowing to make some other parts or bits and pieces. And Molly could speak to how iHeart Southeast has always pulled off a very impressive group event. How long does that take, Molly? Can you speak to?
I'm thinking we started in February, March, and then the parade was April last year. So and we were meeting every week, but it felt like not enough time. But
Okay.
I mean, it was like we could have kept going and going and going. So, but I think like this year we're all already talking. We already know what we want to do. So we're hoping that we're gonna manage our time better because of that.
So last year you came up with the idea of doing something with the garden.
Yes.
And
yeah.
then
Love grows in Southeast. And yeah, I mean I missed the first or I went to the first one, I missed 2, but luckily my team was so awesome that they just kept going. Like once we had a few things started, they were able to take that and run with it, which is great.
so
Like
it's
you're
just like a
saying.
brainstorming, like, oh, what we
Yeah,
should do is make big flowers,
yeah.
and
It
then
was
how do
it
we
was
do that?
exactly like it was kind of like we decided everything on the fly. This time we've been sending a lot of messages and pictures and stuff back and forth. We're like we know how to do this now.
Yeah.
So we are talking all the time.
And the making part's really it's just a lot of fun. You all show up and get busy, and people walk in and out.
Yep. It's very relaxed. Like there's always a core few people that show up, but we have the doors are like you said just open. People come and go and we have new faces, and I definitely think we're going to have some new people this year, which is exciting. Um and I'm hoping I think I'm going to at least have a few other groups going too. I'm definitely going to have to be reaching out to some teaching artists about that soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jane's another good person to talk to. Jane juggled how many last year? 3, Jane, or 4? You have 4 groups?
We had, between me and Polly and Robin, we had a total of 7 groups.
Oh my gosh. And do you find that you might have some tips for us if we're trying to help other groups get started off?
Oh, don't think too hard about it. You know, I mean, don't look at what you're, you know what I mean? Like, don't look at the whole picture. Just be like, okay, I'm over in this place and I'm building this thing and I'm scheduled to be over here for the next thing. Don't look at it all together because you'll just exhaust yourself.
Or maybe just don't take on so many. It sounds exhausting. And then do you help the groups come up with the idea? Do they already have ideas? Like, how does that work?
It's a little bit of both, and I'm interested to see how other folks think, you know, but some of it comes from meetings and pursuit of history. You I showed up with that big egghead last year with this idea about doing a chef and a fish fry float. And the kids were like, no, let's do Bob Marley. And that came from like the littlest one. Of course, the movie had just come out, but you just never know where it's going to come from.
Yeah. But it's never a problem. It seems like the ideas are jumping from everywhere.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if they don't think of anything, just give them a really bad idea and they'll come up with something.
And so thank you. Thanks, good. So now's the time to be thinking, and now's also the fun and exciting part. Just it's a blank canvas, and we're coming up with ideas that we can play with. What I'm trying to do is make sure that those few objects are available for people to like the big egghead. I have a dozen of those from last year, and I've given out one to different groups here, there, and everywhere. And that's why I'm working on puppet bodies this year. Carrying a head on a stick feels a bit weird. When the wind comes by, it's really awkward to hold it. And that paper mache head can get a bit heavy after a block or two. So my goal is to make the backpack bodies that you can walk down the street. It's easier to carry them on the backpack, and they can be animated a bit more. So anyone interested in one of those for their group, just let me know on that one too. And the heads are probably something you could paint up, and we could have costumes made for the bodies. Think anything else we can help with? Any questions from anyone? I think that's
Brian, I just wanted to say I think we do want to use a backpack. Just putting that out there for our puppet. Okay.
So you want that for the alien, so we have to figure out the different tentacle type legs and arms.
Yeah. Well, I have some ideas. We'll talk.
Okay. But you got one of the heads. So I got about it. I have a dozen all in all. And some of them are out there, and I have to call them back in if I need them. Otherwise, I have about 4 right now. And my personal dream would be to have at least 4 humans dance with each other. So there'll be male, female, and they can interact throughout the parade. So there's a bit of a unity to the idea that one large puppet's cool. A bunch of them showing up becomes something so much more awe-inspiring. So, and one alien would be fantastic too.
Well, maybe we can have 2 that dance.
There we go. 2 dancing aliens. Thanks, Molly. Yeah, we'll work on something for you guys there. Anyone else got anything? I see my computer is on red, so hopefully I won't get cut off. Anything else, Katie, that you want to let people know? When are we meeting again?
For the Daisy activation team, our neighborhood artists and teaching artists, we're meeting next week at the Collective.
Same time, same channel. Well, same time, different channel. It's the Collective. Yeah. After that, that's the 17th. Then the next 2 Tuesdays are Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. And so those probably won't be meeting days. But like I say, I'll be at my studio on the Saturdays. I'll probably also be in my studio whenever I can get there. So send me a text if you want to come by and chat there. Then in the new year, January 7th is the next in-person meeting that we're going to have. And I think we're trying to do that over in the West End area. So anyone, we'd like those to be open to anyone to come by and just hear what's going on. I'm asking that the Daisy activation team will be there in person so that we have a chance to really work on smaller teams, one-on-one, planning little projects, or being able to share our bigger project ideas as we go along. I think that's it. Anything else I'm forgetting? Yeah. Thank you, Katie. I'm relying, you can see how much calmer and better at this that Katie is than I am. So thank you for taking this on. The social media, the newsletter, all of that stuff. I I'm excited about it. Thanks for getting that all organized. It was run by me and some of my students. My students did a great job last year. But it was a lot of work for them. So I do appreciate you taking that one on. I'm about ready to slip out. Anyone got anything else? Doug, do you have anything to jump in and say?
Yeah, I want to thank you, Brian. This was a terrific conversation. I really enjoyed it. So much good stuff's happening. I also want to thank everybody who was part of the Story Circles training on Saturday. That was fantastic. The facilitators did a great job. Everybody in the room really felt what that was like and how good it was. And that's what all this is about. I think the Daisy Art Parade, we're using that as a tool in a way, a red herring, or just a way to get people to connect in new ways and feel what it feels like to connect, maybe with their neighbors. And then we see where it goes. So I'm really excited. You've got me like jazzed after this conversation. So thanks a lot.
Thank you. All right. I will, we have another Zoom in January, right? I don't have the date for that one, right? But it's about a month from now. We like it the same way. We like people just to have any questions, come and ask us. We'll have the Daisy Art Activation team here to show maybe what we're doing and what we're working on right now. And it should really create sort of a momentum going forward. So that will be on Corey's newsletter, that information. And Corey, I do appreciate you see your note saying that you can help with the video editing. That would be fantastic. And we should get together and yeah, let's get a drink and let's celebrate the new year because we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff together.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Thanks. Gonna sign off then. See you all next week, hopefully.
Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Bye.